Welcome to my very first Flosstube. My name is Hanneke, and in this first Flosstube, I will first introduce myself and then show some of my recent and previous finishes, move into my whips and my plans. Um, but first, I will start with an introduction. My name is Hanneke, and I am Dutch. It's a Dutch name, and I live in Vlissingen. For those who know the Netherlands. For those who don't, it's often translated to Flushing, which is not entirely correct. But there we are. It's in the south of the Netherlands and it's near the beach. So the beach is about 5 minutes from my house, which is lovely. I love spending time there. Um, and I am 36 years old. I have done cross stitch since I was very young. I think my very first work was in primary school. And I made a Paddington Bear cross stitch, and I don't have it anymore, which is a shame. But I remember we used to have sewing, stitching, knitting, crochet class every Wednesday, and I finished something early, and we could pick whatever we wanted to do if we finished something early. And I picked a cross stitch, and I picked a Paddington Bear cross stitch, and I loved it. I do remember that. I really enjoyed doing it. And after that, I've made a few things which I will show you because I do have those still. And between my 20th and my 30th year, I haven't done any crafting. I finished my bachelor's in nursing. I did a master's degree in nursing science, and then I did my PhD in nursing, and then I was 31. I finally had time to do some more crafting. So for quite a while, I didn't do any crafting at all because I was just always busy and tired and stressed. When I was 31, I went back to crafting. I had more time than I had previously, and I went back into making cards. Also using stitching for that. It's a different kind of stitching. I haven't seen it on any of the Flosstubes, so I will show it at the end of this Flosstube for those who are interested. And then I think about 8 months ago or so, I think it was around Christmas 2022. So it was about 5, 6 months ago. I spent it with my family, with my mum and dad, in Groningen, which most of you don't know where that is. Anyway, my mum and I love going to shops that sell crafty stuff. So my mum goes for crochet stuff and I go for other things. And this shop has crochet and cross stitching. And so I bought some cross stitching around Christmas time and fell in love with it and have been doing a lot of cross stitching over the past months. Basically picking up an old hobby from when I was younger. So yeah, why am I doing a Flosstube? I love Flosstubes. I've been watching way too many of them for the past months. It's just nice to have them on in the background and just sort of see all these different things that people are making. It's just, there's so much great creativity out there. It's lovely to watch. And I also think that it's one of the environments online that is so supportive and so nice, and people are so kind. And that's quite rare, to be honest. So I felt, why not just add my contribution to it all? Because I just think it's lovely. And again, all the projects you see, there's so many different ones, and people can do it so differently. Sometimes you see the same projects with different stitches, and they make it their own, and it's just lovely. So that's why I'm doing a Flosstube. I think there's about 3 channels that I've watched a lot, and I've watched everything back that from previous times. I think my first Flosstube was Country Stitches, which 2 lovely, lovely ladies who make the most beautiful things. And again, I really noticed the kindness and the way they appreciate their viewers, and the viewers appreciate them, and it's just I really liked that. And then I came across Once Upon a Stitch, and I was just so impressed with the stitching. It's so neat, and she has those massive designs, but it's always beautiful. She is such a neat stitcher, absolutely lovely. And then I came across Welcome Stitchery, and I watch that a lot because it's just fun. And they have quite a lot of finishes because there are other people who send in their finishes, I think, for the shop. So yeah, I love those as well. And I watch a lot of other ones as well. I watch a lot of you all the time. So yeah, but these three really stand out because I've watched, like I said, everything back from previous times, and I've seen quite a lot of projects develop through the months, years, maybe sometimes. Right, so that's a little bit about me and about how I got here. Um, let's get into some stitching. I've tried to organize myself with everything around me, so it's a mess here, but you can't see that. But I'll start with my second work. So after the Paddington Bear, I got a kit. My mom bought me a kit, basically. And this is a Lanarte kit, and I never put it in a frame, and I don't think I will because I don't think it's pretty enough to be put in a frame. But I'm still happy. I'm happy I've still got it, that I can show it to you and that I can still look at it, because I do think it is cute. It is a Lanarte kit. Lanarte is I think they're Dutch. Not sure if they're Dutch, but they sell in the Netherlands. And this is all just kit stuff. So it's the floss from the kit and the fabric from the kit. There's music outside, and I really am hoping that you don't hear it. Apologies if you do hear it. I think it's cute. It's not as neat, obviously, because I was quite young when I made it. So when you look at it from a distance, it's nice, but when you look up close, it's not as neat as it probably should be. But I'm proud that I made this. It's, I think, on even weave, but as I said, it's just what was in the kit, and the flosses were what was in the kit. And I think it's cute. I think it's very cute. And it's one of my firsts, so well done me. The second one I made was a big one. I don't know why, but I went straight into quite a big one, and I think it's mostly coverage, full coverage, not all of it. But it's huge, and I wasn't scared. I just went into it. It's again a Lanarte kit. So again, this is all from the kit. So I got the called for flosses, called for fabric, which is, I think, again an even weave, and the floss is usually DMC, so probably it was DMC. I think this is beautiful, and I think I will frame this somewhere in the coming months because I think it's beautiful. It's quite romantic with those roses. I think the colors are perfect. This is really a color scheme I love. So yeah, I think this is beautiful. And again, I'm still surprised how I just went into a project like this when I was so young. I think I must have been 18 or something when I made this. I was really young. But it is lovely. Again, it's probably not as neat as it could be, but I do think it is lovely, and I'm quite proud of it. And like I said, I might frame it because it's a beautiful project. And then I made another one. I think it's not a castle, but it is like a big fancy house near my parents, and they sold that into a kit in the village. I think it was a crafting shop, and they might have made that themselves actually, I'm not sure. Anyway, I stitched that one, and it's at my parents' house, so I can't show you, but it was nice. And again, that was full coverage as well. So yeah, I wasn't scared when I was younger. I'm more scared now. I'm not doing full coverage at the moment because I'm scared. But yeah, I wasn't then. I just started it and finished it, mind you. Right. So when I started again around Christmas last year, I wasn't sure what I was going to make, and I wanted something quite easy and not too difficult to finish. And I came across these beautiful towels that on Pinterest, where you can find all of those. And this is a pattern from Pinterest, and I have no idea who the designer is. I don't know if it's sold still. I couldn't find it anywhere. And this one on Pinterest is in any color scheme you could want. It's just everywhere. And I decided to make it in pink. And I think this is absolutely beautiful. I think this is a beautiful pattern. It's so real. I think that's the main thing. It looks very real to me, these roses. It's just beautiful. Perfect shading. Yeah. So this is a towel. I'm not sure what kind of towel this is. It has an Aida. This is an Aida strip, obviously. I think the towel is Rico or DMC, but I am not sure. I am not sure. It's lovely quality, mind you. I am just going to pause and close the window and hope that you don't hope the music because it's quite loud. Apologies. Right, we're back again. So that was the towel that I made, and I really like it. Like I said, it's good quality fabric. But I'm not sure whether this is DMC or Rico. It might says, oh, it's Rico. Rico Design. There you go. Rico Design. It's beautiful quality. Quite a fancy towel. And it only has a strip on one side, which I think is a shame. Would have been lovely if there would have been a strip of Aida on the other side as well, but it only has one. So you can just hang it like this and it looks beautiful. So there you go. That's that one. And then I got into Etsy, which, yeah, I've just sort of found everything that I like, and I've just started making many things. So this was the first pattern that I bought on Etsy, which is from a designer called Fifsters, and I'm not sure I say it right, but it's Vivster. And she has beautiful designs, and I am quite sure that I will make another one of her at some point because they are beautiful, and she does come up with new designs quite regularly, so it's worth keeping an eye on those. This is Scandinavian Forest, and she has got this one in numerous color palettes, so this is all fabricated. I've not done anything with it. The reason why I haven't got it framed or anything like that is because I don't like the coverage. So this is an 18 count Aida, and I have used one strand of DMC floss, and I don't like the coverage. I think it's quite light. You can sort of see the white through it, and I might make it again with different colors maybe, but then on I think a 16 count with 2 strands to make it more pop than it is with this one. I bought the pastel one color scheme wise, and then still changed the colors to whatever I wanted. So these are not the called for flosses. I sort of chose my own, but I don't like it as much. I love the pattern. I love the pattern. It was lovely to make. It's, I think, a very jolly, happy take on a forest. But yeah, I don't like the coverage, and I won't frame this, I think, but I probably will make another one of these at some point, with different fabric and different colors, I think. But yeah, I do like the pattern. I think it's a beautiful pattern. Then I moved on to two freebies from a designer whom I again love, and I will make other stuff from her in the future. It's Shannon Christine, and she's got these freebies, and I'll start with this one, which is Rainy Day, and I think this is just so cute. I think this little frame is a DMC one. It's quite cheap actually. It looks wooden, but it's plastic, so it's cheap and easy finish. Um, this is Rainy Day, and it has about 15 colors in it. I mean, it's tiny, tiny, and it has 15 colors. So some colors you only do a couple of stitches with it, really. So it has a lot of color changes, but it's so cute in the end, isn't it? I really like that. And then I found this one, which is the owl one, Autumn Owl, I think it's called. And this one, the Rainy Day one, I used the called for flosses. So I bought the flosses that she suggested. And then for this one, she suggested very different colors, and I decided to use the same ones I already had from Rainy Day. So I used, this one is not called for flosses. This one is. But I think this one looks quite similar to the picture. And again, it's cute. It ended up incredibly cute. Both of them. Just lovely. So I will make more from Shannon Christine. I think she has just very cute patterns. They're not very big. They're just sweet. And these I think were freebies. I'm quite sure they were freebies. And all her other work you can find on Etsy. She has a website. So it's absolutely lovely. Anyway, then I moved on to slightly bigger, and this is from, it's called Arctic Bouquet, and I think it is from, I'm gonna look at my notes because I'm not sure, Stitch Fairy Co. On Etsy again. It's Arctic Bouquet, and I think it's beautiful. It has such beautiful colors. I use the called for flosses, and I use 16 count Ada. And again, this time maybe it's a Vervaco, I'm not sure. These are sold by numerous, is it designers? Vervaco, DMC. So yeah, I bought a few. They're quite cheap, really, but they're so easy for finishing. And I think this is just the perfect design. Yeah, the colors are really vibrant, and they just go so well together. So when I saw this on Etsy, I was immediately sure I'm gonna make that at some point, and then quite quickly started it because I just love the colors. And they have different flowers as well in different color schemes, but this one really stood out to me. So that's Arctic Flowers from Stitchy Fairy Co. And I will put all these things in my description box. So should you be interested in any of these, you can find the links there. So I think that's most of my finishes, recent finishes, and also long time ago finishes. Let's see, I'm just going to pop this over here. And let's see. So that moves us into what am I currently stitching? I used to be a one project stitcher, and I think I've done that for quite a long time. And when I just started stitching in December, I stitched on one projects as well. So it was sort of how I was raised, I have to be honest. And then I got to watching a lot of Flosstubes, and I learned that one can do a lot of cross-stitch projects at the same time. So I decided that I could do that too. And currently I've got 3 on the go, and then I've got, I think, 2 kitted up, and then I've got a few that I want to look at or are thinking about kitting up, at least maybe starting. So I'm sort of building my project at the moment. It's not that I want to do a lot of them at the same time. It's not that I want to work on 15 or 20 as some of you are doing, and I've even seen people who've got 60 works in progress. I don't think I'll ever get there, but I currently have got 3 and I'm really enjoying that, and I wouldn't mind adding a few that I would really like. So the first one I'm currently working on is a design that I have fallen in love with. I think it is absolutely perfect. It is again from Etsy, and it is from Cliffside Stitches, and it is just perfect to me. It's so beautiful. I have 3 lines to do over here, and that's it. Then it's finished, and I sort of want to finish it, and then I don't want to finish it because it's so nice to work on. The colors are beautiful. It's only 4 colors. It's the sort of lime green, 2 colors of teal, one quite dark blue, dark teal, and then lighter teal, and then the pink is a substitute. So the actual pattern and design asks for a purple, which is 552. For those who use, this is a DMC. These are DMC colors, so it's a 552, and that's a purple one. And I prefer pink to purple, so I decided to change it to a pink, and then I changed it to a 3804. That's what I changed it to. And I went to this very tiny shop nearby, and I got that one, and she only had one left, and I found out that it was quite an old one. So the font on the little thingy that says 3804 has a dot behind it, and it's a very different font to what DMC uses today. So I had already started stitching. The whole border was finished, and I thought, I actually need a second skein to get this done. So why don't I go and get a second one? And then I found out that the color is slightly different from the newer ones. So I was not happy. Anyway, I've been looking everywhere. I went to another tiny shop that's nearby, and luckily they had a few that are relatively similar to this one. I think it's slightly lighter, but it's only a little bit. So I will do the middle with the new lighter one, slightly lighter one. And I don't think you'll see it. It's that minuscule, the difference. I think this is so beautiful. And I will put in, because I'm now forgetting, I haven't shown you the actual full design and what it's supposed to look like in the end. So I will pop this away, and I will put a picture here so you can see the actual design. It's absolutely beautiful. It's called Peacock Sampler. Like I said, it's from Cliffside Stitches on Etsy, and they have a lot of beautiful designs. It's from different countries, so they show different ways of stitching from different countries. I really like that. I think that's lovely. This one is one of my favorites, and I'm already a bit sad that I'll be finished in a couple of weeks because it does go quite quickly. So yeah, I want to finish it, but I don't want to finish it. Right, so my second one is one I'm making for my mum. I wanted to stitch her something, and she was quite happy to receive something. So I asked her to pick one, and she picked one from historical Stickmuster. I think it's German, so I think it's something like that. It's colors of the water, colors of the sea, I'm not sure. And I've started this one. It's massive, and I'm really sorry because I've been working on this, as you can see. I'll pop this away. It's beautiful. I've started, I think, right bottom of the pattern, and it's just absolutely lovely. This is the first one I have used silk for. So this is soie d'Alger, I think is how you say it. And it's the first time I'm not using regular DMC or there's another one I use, Rico floss, but this is the first time it's beautiful silk. And this is a 20 count Ada white, and then I use one strand of floss, and I think the coverage is perfect. So I'm quite happy with that. I think it's lovely. It's not that big a start, but one has to start somewhere. And I already think the pattern is just so lovely, even with this little bit. So yeah, I look forward to making the rest. And it's not difficult at all. It's quite easy to follow. So yeah, happy with this one. I love this one. And Historical Stickmusha has so many lovely patterns. So I will probably make other ones. I've seen the one with colors from spring, which I think is beautiful. Colors of Venice, I think, is one of my favorites. There is one Christmassy one which I like. It's just they have many of my favorites. I think after this one I'll make spring, because spring is I think one of my favorites because it's very bright colors and I like that. So I'll probably make that one, but I'll finish this one first for my mum. Right, then I've got my third project is a tablecloth, so I have to sit back a little bit to show you this. It's quite a big one. This is Rico Designs. So I had a Rico towel earlier, and this is Rico Designs, and they have a kit, well, many kits with tablecloths. And this is a tablecloth for Christmas. And this is what I have at the moment. And I'm halfway done. This is halfway done. And what you basically do is the same pattern you do 4 times. So I've done 2 of them. And I'm going to show closer to the camera. I can't see what I'm doing, so I hope you'll see something. It has an Ada strip in the middle of the tablecloth. And then this is Rico thread. So Rico thread is a little bit thicker than DMC, and I still use 2 strands to make sure the coverage is nice. And that is all called for. So this is all called for floss and whatnot. And I think this is lovely. And at the way I'm going, this will be finished by Christmas. And I can use it at that time. I think it's just lovely. I was very surprised when I got the pattern because the pattern shows the colors very differently. But I love the colors that are actually on here because they're a lot more muted than the pattern suggests when you look at it. Yeah, I think this is lovely. Lovely, lovely. So those are my current projects that I'm working on. Like I said, I have room for more, and I will look into the Shannon Christine Christmassy ones. I might do another one because she has so many lovely ones. Just a cute, not a very big one, but just a cute little one. So I will look at those, and I will probably start on because I think they're very cute. Another one that I'm making, and I've already decided I'm going to make, is from Etsy again, and I'm going to check my Big Toe Designs, and she has a lot of Christian designs, so often it is something like a Bible text or something. And this one is Grateful Every Day, and I'm going to put a picture here or there, not sure yet where I'm going to put that. Probably there because it's nicer there. Um, and it's great for every day. It's sort of like a tree, and it's really nice. It has called for flosses, which I think dinky dyes, which I don't know where to get that in the Netherlands. So I have made my own conversion to DMC. They made a conversion to DMC, but I didn't really like the colors that they chose in compared to the picture. So I'm gonna make. I've already made my own DMC changes, and I will start that one somewhere in the upcoming weeks. It's not very big. It's probably quite a quick stitch, but I think it is very cute. Um, and it's just a lovely text, great for every day. Isn't that important? So that's what I am going to start. It's already kitted up. I can start it. The second one that's kitted up is kitted up because it is a kit. There's nothing I have to do. I just bought it and it's kitted up. And it is another tablecloth because I like big projects, apparently. And this one is a Vivaco tablecloth. Now Vivaco is very well known in stitching world in the Netherlands. I'm not sure about America because I haven't heard any of you about Vivaco really. But yeah, in the Netherlands there's a lot of Vivaco. So here you are. This is the first tablecloth I am doing of the Vivaco options. They have a lot of tablecloths. And this is the one I chose. I chose it because it is just so vibrant and bright. And again, it is 4 times you do the same pattern. So that's the only thing that it's not that I don't like it, but it means that I put the project away for a while. So I come back to it with like fresh for the second, third and fourth quarter. But I think it's absolutely beautiful. It's very bright. The yellows it's just very summery. So I figured I might start this in summer because it's just a happy, bright pattern. And if you look at the floss, it's just beautiful. This is all DMC. It all comes kitted like this. Nothing I have to do for that. And it's just beautiful colors. Beautiful colors. So yeah, happy with that. And I will start that someday soon. Because the weather is getting nicer in the Netherlands. We've had quite a lot of rain recently, but it's a lovely day today. So yeah, looking forward to summer. Right, that one. Then I'm not finished yet, you know. There is one Spanish diamonds, and again, I think I'm going to put that here because I haven't bought it yet, but I will today or tomorrow. I think it's Spanish diamonds. I think it's beautiful. It's quite geometric in its design. The colors I'm not sure about yet. It's blue in the pattern that you're seeing. I might go for sort of brown with teal. I haven't decided yet, but I will look into that probably tomorrow because I'm going shopping tomorrow. So I'll look at that tomorrow. And you know, I might end up with the blue anyway because I do like the pattern as it is. But we'll see. So I really love this one, Spanish Diamonds, and it's from Etsy again. It's Northern Expressions 1. And I think it's gorgeous. So I will start that one. Those are the ones that I might start. Right. I think that's most of my stitchy stuff done. Needle minders, you might have seen the odd needle minder here and there. I have all my needle minders from a French shop, Etsy again. For instance, this one, which is one of my favorites. They are currently on a break, and I don't know how to say it. It's French. I'm not very good at French, so I will put it in the description box. Should you be interested in any of those, but they have lovely needle minders. They have a lot. Once they're back from break, I'm sure you'll see lovely stock. It's absolutely beautiful. They're very cute. So yeah, I have quite a few of them. I think I've got about 6 of them now. So yeah, should you be interested, it's in the description box. Right, so that's all my stitchy stuff. Stitching on fabric, that is. And now I would like to show you some of my stitching on paper, which is different from the stitching on paper that most of you do, because I know people stitch on paper, it's sometimes even cross-stitching on cards, but this is even different from that. So if you're not interested in that and you just prefer fabric stitching, then I thank you very much for being here with me. I hope to see you again. I hope you like, subscribe, and all those things. And I wish you a lot of lovely stitching, obviously. And thank you again for being here. Now, if you are interested in the stitching on paper, I will show you a few examples. And I will also link to my Pinterest account because I put all my cards on Pinterest so people can look at them there. This is just an example to show you the kind of stitching I do. As you see, there's nothing with crosses. It is, and this is actually from a design from Karin's Creations, and I will put that into the description box as well. And you basically have to do your own punching the holes into the cards stuff, and then you stitch it. And I use Gutermann, which is a German thread for sewing. So it's just a normal sewing spool. So it's thinner, I think, than DMC would be, even with one strand. This is thinner than that. And it has quite a nice sheen to it. It shimmers a little bit. So yeah, this is one, and this is just a picture, but this is stitched. So that's one option. Then this is from Stitch and Do, which is also a designer of these patterns, and I've made a card of it. So all this is stitched. Again, you have to do your own punching holes, and then you stitch it with the thread. And this might actually be with, I'm not sure, it could be Gutermann and it could be Stitch and Do threads, because they also have their own threads and they shine even nicer than the Gutermann. So yeah, it's really, I think it gives a really chic effect when you do this kind of stitching on paper. It is slightly different, but it is very, very cute. So that's an option. And I'll show you this one as well. This is something I made. So it has a text on it, and then this is again stitched. And you can use all these different patterns. There you go. So I think it's a lovely way of stitching on paper. It's different than cross stitching. I have done cross stitching on paper as well, but that gives a very different effect from this. And this is quite understated. I think it's quite elegant. If you can say a card is elegant. But yeah, I think it's quite nice. So I just wanted to show you that. And I continue making cards, so I might show you some in the future as well. Because like I said, it's a form of stitching. It's something with needle and thread, and we enjoy that very much. I think that's it for my first Flosstube. Thank you very much for being here. If you've even stayed for the cards and everything, thank you very much. I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. And I hope you come back at some point. I think I'm going to try to do this once a month. I think that will be a nice. I work full time. I work in higher education, so I'm quite busy. But I think once a month will be quite doable. and I look forward to watching other Flosstubers in the meantime. Like I said, like, subscribe, whatever you do on YouTube, and I do hope to see you again. Thank you very much for being here.